Nick here again, and I just had something on my mind I wanted to talk about for a minute. Because I've been seeing a lot of the stuff that's coming at me. I talk a lot to people who aren't Christians and who perhaps are atheists or agnostics. People who perhaps have been involved in a church and then left the church, and kind of been talking to them about their worldview, their reasons for believing what they believe, and their reasons for not believing what I believe. And the interesting thing is that what I've found for the most part is that there's really a big misunderstanding about what the Christian worldview actually is, and about what the Bible actually says. Most of the people I talk to, I spend a lot of time in, I guess, correcting their understanding of my views. And I think that the reason that they have these erroneous, misinformed positions in thinking about Christianity is because that's the view that they've been fed. That's the view that they've gotten through the other people that they've known who are Christians, who they've talked to and interacted with. So this is a video kind of calling some of you out who are, maybe say you're a Christian and you just can't give any good reasons for why you believe in God, or why you believe the Bible, or why Jesus is important. And so you claim to have this worldview. Maybe you're a pastor, maybe you're just a Sunday school teacher, maybe you're just a church attender. But you've encountered people who have asked you hard questions about the Bible. Why is there evil and suffering? If God is all powerful, why would He allow evil and suffering? Stuff like that. Why do you believe in God? I mean, hasn't science proved that evolution is true? Why would you believe the Bible? Hasn't it been changed down through history? Isn't it just legend and mythology primarily? How did you respond to these questions and objections? You just responded by saying, well, you just have to have faith, didn't you? That's how you responded to them. Because that's the answers that I've gotten in church. You know, ask, why is the Bible true? Why should I believe in God? Why is Jesus important? Well, you just have to have faith. And while I see the point there, and I see the reason that they would say that, I think that really leaves people thinking that you just don't have any good reason to believe what you believe. And so your way out of it, your escape, through having to give reason and evidence for your worldview, is to say, I just take it on faith, I just believe it. But you know what that says to people who want to know? Is that says, if you just believe something enough, you can make it true. It's kind of the essence of what's called existentialism. Kind of, there is no real, actual, spiritual, objective reality out there. We make it what we want it to be. You know, by the powers of our, mental thinking, and by our will, if we can will things into existence. But I don't think that's a very good way to go about it. Because in that case, you would have a very hard time proving the legitimacy of your worldview over a Mormon. Because if you've ever had Mormons come to your house, that's pretty much the same thing they say. And so you just be at just an impassable place. But I think that there's more reason than that. I think that there's more reason for why God exists, that we can give with evidence and with a good reasoning. I think that there's evidence that we can give and reasoning that we can give for the reliability of the Bible, and the reason that we believe it, the reason that we hold to this book, and that we think it's trustworthy. I think there's reasons that we can give for why Jesus is the only way to God, and why the gospel is so important. And my friend, if you don't know those reasons, and if you've been going around telling people that they just have to take it on faith, please stop. And I ask you to please stop, for the sake of us who are trying to reach these people later, who you've talked to and who have left Christianity thinking that we're just a bunch of ignorant people who don't know the way the world is and are trying to just hold on to some kind of wishful thinking and just wishing something were true and then pretending like it is. So, if you can't give a reason for God's existence from science or from just logic and reasoning combined with science or history, and if you can't give reasons for why the Bible is true and trustworthy and historical and divine, and if you can't go to this book, open it up, and tell why Jesus is important, please stop telling people about your worldview. Please. Even if you're a pastor, stop. Go and get some good reasons. Look at the main criticisms that are out there right now against the Christian worldview. Look at the apologetics that are out there right now. Get some reasons. Be able to answer people that come to you and ask you why you believe this stuff. And you would do us all a favor. So that at least when they reject Christianity, they'll do so by saying, well, I know that the Bible is historically accurate. I know that Jesus is the exclusive Savior of the world. At least let them have an accurate view so that they can reject it with that, rather than just being ignorant. This is just a big deal to me. And I'd hope that you'd consider it. And I hope that you'd take the time to study, to be able to prove God's existence, to be able to prove the reliability of the Bible, to be able to reason with somebody and at least share the gospel properly with them. And don't just cop out and tell people Jesus wants to make them happy. Okay? Thanks for listening.